What's going on? Welcome back to Aroma Fragrances. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking 10 of the best cherry fragrances that I have full bottles of in my collection up until this point. If you guys are a fan of lists like this and ranking videos, let me know down in the comments below, and let me know what fragrance house or fragrance note I should rank next. Yeah, but without any delay, let's get right on into it. Starting this list off in the number 10 spot, from the house of Guerlain. This is considered a classic to many people. This is Guerlain's Lhomme Ideal Eau de Parfum. This fragrance to me, and the only reason it's down here at the 10 spot, I think it's a fantastic, classy fragrance, but to me personally, I don't get a crazy amount of cherry in it. I get more so of the almond. I think that almond really plays a much bigger role in this fragrance to me. So this fragrance features notes of almond, spices, lavender, bergamot, rosemary, and thyme in the top. In the mid, you have cherry, vanilla, incense, and Bulgarian rose. And down the base, you have leather, tonka bean, and sandalwood. So yeah, you definitely get a hint of that cherry in the background. At least, again, to me, I think some people may pick up that cherry note a little bit more, but personally me, it's the almond that plays the major role in this fragrance, and for that reason, I can't rank it all too highly. As much as I love this scent, when it comes to a cherry-based fragrance list, I can't put this any higher really than the 10 spot. I do think it's a fantastic fragrance though, and you should definitely check it out. But yeah, number 10 is Guerlain's Lhomme Ideal Eau de Parfum. So next up, in the number 9 spot, is another interesting fragrance, one that when I got it, I was kind of not let down per se. I do also really enjoy the fragrance, just like the last one, but the cherry is just not the main player here. So again, on the cherry-based list, it's got to go down, but in the 9th spot, this is from Electimuss, London. This is Caspian Cherry. And to me, this fragrance really is more so about the amaretto note and chocolate. Again, the cherry is there, it's present, but not in the forefront of the fragrance. It's definitely more in the background. Again, this is a phenomenal fragrance. I think that that amaretto mixes really well with the cherry in the background and the chocolate in the background, but it's just not a cherry-centric fragrance. And so for that reason, it's going to go in the number 9 spot. But yeah, this is a really, really nice fragrance from the house of Electimuss. And then next up, in the number 8 spot, a fragrance from a brand probably not many of you guys have heard of. It's called Shiraz from Notes Library. This fragrance very much so lives in the realm of a lost cherry, but a little bit darker. So this has notes of cherry, plum, almond, and mandarin in the top, osmanthus, leather, apricot in the heart, and smokewoods, incense, amber, and oak moss in the base. And I think where this differentiates itself, even though it does remind you of lost cherry, but I think that plum mixed with that leather helps to darken it a little bit more so than lost cherry. Whereas I feel lost cherry is a bit of a lighter scent profile, and this definitely does last on skin for longer than lost cherry. I do get pretty poor performance, at least from the decant that I had of lost cherry, but this, I do feel like it's really nice. And this is where I think this list from here on out, all these get pretty competitive. Again, cherry being one of my favorite fragrance notes. These next, all the way up until number 1, is kind of it's a pretty good fight that they put up between one another. And now is when the fragrances really do start centering around that cherry note. So yeah, in the number 8 spot, this is Shiraz from Notes Library. In the number 7 spot, from the house of Vivamor Parfums, is Crème Exquis. I hate having to rank this one so low, because I really, really like this fragrance. It features 2 of my favorite notes. Yeah, it hurts ranking this all the way down at number 7, but and like I said, I think anything from here up until maybe the number 2 spot could all be interchanged, and on a different day of the week, I may be feeling this a little bit higher than some of the other ones. I think that's just how it is. But anyway, this fragrance features notes of iris, black cherry, and Brazilian orange in the top, heart notes of chocolate, orchid, and caramel, and base notes of oak, Ceylonese cinnamon, coffee, honey, and Tahitian vanilla. Yeah, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous iris black cherry fragrance with some vanilla in it. It's, again, my two favorite notes, iris and black cherry. And the fact that this doesn't make it farther up the list should be telling of what some of these other fragrances are. And I hate putting this down here, but it is what it is. This is a fantastic fragrance, and I think you could pick this one up for a pretty decent price at full retail. This is definitely worth giving a look. Yeah, from the house of Vivamor Parfums, Crème, Exquis. In the number 6 spot, from the house of Montale, is Infinity. This is probably, I'd say, my favorite Montale fragrance up until this point. So this is a gorgeous dark cherry, plum, oud, and tonka bean forward fragrance. Its full note breakdown is as follows. It's got black cherry, plum, cardamom, pink pepper, and saffron in the top, heart notes of oud, rose, leather, sandalwood, tuberose, and vetiver, and base notes of tonka bean, amber, musk, tobacco, and vanilla sugar. And yeah, like I said, this is probably my favorite fragrance from the house of Montale, at least thus far. I haven't tried too many from the brand. This is a fantastic performer. It's this just gorgeous cherry plum fragrance with some smokiness, and I'm assuming that comes from the oud because there is no like incense or smoke notes listed, and so I'm assuming it comes from the oud, but there's a nice smoky background built around that cherry and plum in this fragrance, and I think it's really, really nice. This is like a perfect winter, late fall fragrance. Yeah. So in the number 6 spot, Infinity from House of Montale. So we've made it halfway through the video. If you guys are enjoying and you've made it this far, please hit that like and subscribe. It would mean the world to us. But yeah, in the number 5 spot, from the house of Initio Parfums, you have Narcotic Delight. This is a spicy cherry with a nice tobacco in it. That's basically the gist of this fragrance. That's lingering. This is a strong fragrance. It's spicy. This is a really spicy one. The cherry is there, but it's backed up very closely. I believe there's also some black pepper in it. Yeah, this is really, really nice. And this is a recent addition to my collection. I wish I had this earlier now that we're heading into the warm weather. Well, warm weather's already pretty much here, so I won't be pulling this one out to wear really anytime soon, which is unfortunate. But yeah, in the number 5 spot, Narcotic Delight from Initio Parfums. In the number 4 spot, from the house of Mancera, you have Tonka Cola. This fragrance was hyped up for quite a while, and probably still is to some extent. This is gorgeous atomizers on the Manceras as always. This is a cinnamon forward, but also cherry and cola fragrance. It does remind you of a cherry cola, and whether or not that's a good or bad thing, maybe not everyone wants to smell like a cherry cola, but I think this smells phenomenal. I won this a couple times this winter, and it stuck around. First of all, it stuck around all day. Performance on this was crazy good. I thought it was a really, really gorgeous scent. It's one of my favorites from Mancera, probably in the top 3, I'd say, top 3 or 4. This is a beautiful, beautiful scent profile. Yeah. It's number 4, Tonka Cola from Mancera. So we've made it to the top 3, and here we've got another fragrance that kind of reminds me of a cherry cola to some extent. So this is a Rouge Smoking from BDK Parfums. This to me is a gorgeous effervescent cherry fragrance. It's lighter than Tonka Cola, which I also said reminds me of cherry cola. This is bright, sparkling cherry. And again, reminds me of a cherry cola. So this got top notes of cherry, pink pepper, and Italian bergamot, heart notes of vanilla, heliotrope, and base notes of tonka bean, ambroxan, cashmere, white musk, and labdanum. Yeah, you get the cherry, you get that sparkling, I'm guessing it's the pink pepper that creates that, maybe with some ambroxan. And then down in the dry down, the vanillas come out a little bit more. This is a fantastic fragrance, and it's definitely deserving of that number 3 spot if you ask me. May lean a little feminine, but I have no issue pulling this one off. And if you rock it with confidence, yeah, I think this is just a great winter or cold weather fragrance. Yeah, Rouge Smoking from the house of BDK Parfums. So just missing out on the number 1 spot is a fragrance that, if I maybe made this video a couple months ago, would be my number 1. It was my number 1 cherry fragrance for a long time. And this from the house of Navitus Parfums is Venom of Love. This, yeah, this is so close. This really could take number 1 back. It's that good. This is a beautiful chocolate and cherry fragrance, a boozy chocolate cherry fragrance. So it has top notes of cherry liqueur and bitter almond, heart notes of cherry, chocolate, and jasmine and rose. Base notes of amberwood, almond cream, and vanilla. Yeah, this is stunning. Stunning. This is another one that, you know, may lean feminine, as does a lot of cherry fragrances. A lot of men may be afraid to pull them off, but I don't know. I don't find cherry to be all too feminine. I'm you know, I'll wear most fragrances no matter what. Florals or not, feminine leaning or not. It smells good, it smells good, and this fragrance smells phenomenal. This is so close to being number 1, but it's gonna settle for number 2 for now. In the house of Navitus, this is Venom of Love. And taking the number 1 spot in recent times. Took a while to get this fragrance in my collection, but I'm so glad I have it now. This is French Defense from the house of Mind Games. And what hasn't been said about this fragrance already, right? This is a beautiful ambery cherry with a gorgeous background of rose. Rose isn't overpowering. It's mainly a cherry amber fragrance. It is beautiful. This is alluring, little dark. That cherry is a dark, I would say syrupy cherry, but not cough syrupy. It doesn't, you know, make you think of a medicinal feel. I think this is done phenomenally, and very much so deserving of the number 1 spot. Even as great as Venom of Love is, this does deserve that number 1 spot, at least for now. Yeah, this is French Defense from the house of Mind Games. If you guys enjoyed, thank you all for watching. I'll have some more of these ranking lists out in the future. Hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.